Leah from the Ida Public Library, and welcome to our very first installment for Intro to Streaming. So this is going to be a 3-part program that I'm going to be posting on our Facebook once a month during the winter season. That's just going to give us the most basic of introductions to getting into streaming, finding what you want to do with it, the types of hardware and software you might need, and equipment and such. We won't get super in-depth. If you want more information, I will have some books and things that you can look at in our description of this video that you can use to get some more, do some more of your own research. This is just kind of a starting point if you've ever been interested in streaming. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to jump right into today's topic. Our first topic is going to be about finding your focus and then just getting started, just jumping right in. So if you've gotten this far and you maybe don't know what I'm talking about when I say streaming, you may have heard the word used in reference to things like Netflix and Hulu, streaming TV shows. What I'm talking about when I say streaming is live streaming, which is a live, it's obviously live, where you are in front of a camera, you are doing something in the moment, and you have a live audience who is real time interacting and reacting to what you're doing. So it's rather than pre-recording a video and putting it on YouTube, it is a video that you're doing to a live digital audience. So I feel like the most important question you should ask when you want to get into streaming is, what interests you about streaming? So what is it about streamers? If you watch streamers, what is it about them that you think is the most interesting that you would want to do? Is it the live aspect? You just like to have like a more live, interactive chat section rather than comments posted after the fact? Do you like having a persona? Do you like acting and you want to do some sort of entertainment industry? Do you want to make this into a career? Which is absolutely something you can do. It is not easy. Just like any other entertainment industry career, becoming a full-time streamer is not easy, but is absolutely doable. So is this something that you think you'd like to try to turn into a career? Do you want to try to become famous? These are all things that you should think about. Obviously, the answer to this question has so many different answers, and whatever answer you come up with is going to be unique to you. But it is very important to think about that before you get started with something like this, especially if you plan on trying to make it a more consistent part of your life. If you want to make it a career, or if you just want to make it something regular, you want to know what you like so that if you start to feel like you're losing your gusto for it, maybe you can think, oh, I think the reason that I'm not enjoying this as much is because I've kind of strayed away from what I like about streaming. And then you can realign yourself. So there are so many different ways to stream. Do you like video games? Maybe you just like to play video games and you want to share your experience with other people. Maybe you want to put on a persona, you want to be a VTuber, you like the idea of making a character and portraying that character. Maybe you have some knowledge about some topic that you want to share the news, you want to be one of those people that is like tells everybody what's going on with your favorite show, or you want to discuss it with other people. Or maybe you've got a special skill. You're good at crafting or drawing or making costumes or playing music, and you just really want to be able to share that with an interactive audience. So we'll go ahead, I'm going to just give you guys like a starting point of ideas. Like maybe you've probably already watched some streamers before, you probably already know about things like video gaming, streams, esports, but really streaming is something that you can make very unique to you. Especially if you want to turn this into some sort of career, you want to make it something that you are going to enjoy, that is going to stand out a little bit. So let me just go ahead, I'm going to share a couple of various ideas to give you guys a starting point, just to start thinking about just how multifaceted streaming can be. So there is, of course, VTubing. If you've not heard of VTubing, I have been sharing some images here and there in this presentation of VTubers. VTubing stands for virtual YouTuber. This is something that's become very popular nowadays. People will make a digital model of a character or of themselves and use special technology that will capture their facial and hand movements. So using their camera, instead of showing their face, it shows this digital character. And VTubers can pretty much do any of the things that I'm showing here. I've only put this off as its own thing because VTubing tends to have its own kind of niche. So maybe a VTuber plays video games, but they also might be a little bit different than an esports video game streamer. So VTubing is a specific niche of streaming where you'd have to do a little bit more work. You have to come up with a character. A lot of VTubers will come up with whole backstories for the character they're portraying. You'll have to come up with a persona to use, and of course your model and your modeling software. But again, a VTuber can do any of the streaming ideas on this list. Maybe you want to be an esports player, but you don't want to use your face. You can go be an esports VTuber. Speaking of esports, video games are definitely one of the most popular streaming topics. You can get really into multiplayer esports and co-op games. Like Fortnite, of course, is one of the most popular streaming video games right now. Among Us was very popular for a while. That's a multiplayer game. And of course, all those esports, League of Legends, all the other ones that I don't remember. But that's probably if you think of streaming, that's probably the first thing you're thinking of. But there are other ways to do video game streams. You can do single player long plays. I've seen streamers who take several hours every couple of weeks and they play Hollow Knight. They play through the whole game from start to finish and just chat with their chat while they play. You can do special challenges. There are plenty of Pokemon streamers who do special challenges like I'll beat this game using only shiny Pokemon, or I'll beat this game not using any potions. You can spotlight indie games. A lot of streamers will play the most popular games for good reason. They're going to get a lot more views, but maybe you want to focus on indie games, things that nobody else is playing. And there are also plenty of streamers who do things for mobile games where they'll pull their gachas during a stream so they can show off what they get out of their gacha pulls. So again, while you might think of one thing for video games, again, almost the sky is pretty much the limit. You can figure out how you want to do it. You could do a combination of things. Again, there's lots of stuff. You can do sort of reviews. Maybe instead of playing video games, you just want to talk about them. Like, here's the games that are coming out this year. Here's what I'm most excited for. And then later you say, all right, this is how I liked these games, if maybe they weren't as exciting as I thought. Lots of people like to hear others' opinions on games, books, board games, shows. You could have like a weekly recap of your favorite anime every time it airs. Again, in the same vein, I talked about that earlier, you could share news. Maybe you're really into Magic the Gathering and you want to share every so often, this is when the new Magic the Gathering sets are coming out and what cards are going to be in it. You can share, these books are going to be coming out soon. You know, books are kind of an untapped streaming audience, I feel like. I haven't seen a lot of book streamers, more booktubers, but maybe you want to do live stream book reviews. There's an idea. There are people who do unboxing videos. A lot of times this won't be somebody's whole channel, but maybe for you it could be. You could unbox special merchandise, blind boxes, books. Look at new books. Open up your trading card packs on stream and see if you get any good ones. And of course, there are craft and art streamers. Lots of digital artists draw live on Twitch and YouTube. Maybe you want to work on making your cosplays or editing your videos. Maybe you want to be making your own video game and you can stream while you make your video game. If you like that idea, you should check out our Game Guild live streams that I've been making on our Facebook and YouTube, where I'm actually working on a video game I'm making here at the library. And also check out our video game development programs that we are hosting. We're going to have a game jam in January, and you might win some prizes if you join us. So look into that little plug there. Of course, there's all sorts of other crafts and art you can do. You can do sculpture on stream. You can do painting. You can do origami. The sky is the limit. You could run a sort of like a podcast or a talk show. Maybe you want to make a live radio play with some friends. That could be interesting. Or you just every week, you and a couple of friends have a topic and you just chat about it on live Twitch. And of course, music streams. There are plenty of music streamers who will just get on, they'll maybe play some songs, or they'll share themselves working on writing a song. You can probably think of other ways to use music as you're streaming. But again, these are just a couple of ideas. This seems like a lot of possibilities, but I'm sure there are even more. This is just a starting point. And also, keep in mind, there is no reason to limit yourself to just one of these. If you want to focus on digital drawing, doing drawing streams, and then every now and then you're like, I kind of want to show off me playing Undertale. You can go ahead and just do a stream for Undertale that day. Don't feel like you have to limit yourself to one topic. Maybe you want to find one to focus on, but you can do whatever. You can do whatever combination of things. Try out new stuff and see what sticks. What's the most fun for you? Bottom line, do what interests you. It can be very, very tempting to just dive right into whatever's the most popular so that you get those views. You can maybe just start off right away with a Fortnite stream or a Minecraft stream. And if those things are interesting to you, absolutely do it. But if you couldn't care less about Fortnite and you don't want to play Minecraft, don't force yourself to do it just because it's popular. Being popular does not mean you're going to get a lot of views. It could actually just mean that you're going to get buried under all the other people doing it. So again, bottom line, do what is interesting to you. Do what's fun. Because to be completely honest with people who might be interested in streaming, you're not going to get a lot of views to start off with. It's going to be kind of a long, slow road if you ever get that momentum at all. It is not easy. It's doable, but it's not easy. So you should get in that mindset that you want to focus on what's entertaining to you, so that when you're putting all the work into this and you don't get the response you were hoping for, at the very least, you don't feel as though all your time was completely wasted doing what you thought was going to be interesting to others. So, treat yourself first is my bottom line here. But what about getting started? Now, next time in our next installment, I will talk more in detail about hardware and software. But if you are really, really thinking you want to stream, don't wait until you get all of those fancy materials, all those fancy equipment and everything. You can start with what you have. It's not going to be the most amazing quality, but it's just good to get into the habit. And you don't want to spend a whole lot of money on equipment and then find out you don't actually feel like streaming all the time. So again, just start with what you have. If you have a laptop, it probably already has a webcam, mouse, keyboard, and microphone in it. I'm recording this presentation with just a regular Dell laptop. It's not super fancy hardware, but you can see my face, you can see the screen clearly enough, and you can hear me all right. So you can just start with your laptop. Bare minimum, you just need a laptop that has a microphone and maybe a pair of headphones and some place to sit down. If you want to get a little more fancy, maybe you want to look at some lighting, backdrops. We've got this fun book backdrop back here. These aren't super expensive if you want to get one off of Amazon or something. If you want to look into some lighting options, we at the library, we've got a couple things. We've got this nice little ring lamp. You can see that in my little camera view. So this is good if you want to use this on your face. So if you're going to be focusing on your face with the webcam. But again, you don't even have to use your webcam. So these are just, bare minimum. Software, of course, bare minimum, you're going to need an account on a live stream service. Twitch and YouTube are the most popular ones, but feel free to look into what other options. You'll need a screen recording software. I'm using Open Broadcast software for this program. You can see that I have the ability to make my little webcam down at the bottom while I have the rest of my screen here. I'll talk a little bit more about this next time, but Open Broadcast software is totally free and you can use it to stream directly to Twitch, so I recommend it. You might want a video editing program. Again, a lot of computers have one installed already, so don't feel like you have to go get a fancy one right away. And if you want to become a VTuber, you will need something to make your model with. VRoid is a free and fairly simple way to use it. Oh, there's my light. But that's going to be something I'll talk more in detail about next time. You can also commission people to make a VTuber for you, but they can get very expensive because it's a lot of work to model, so you got to pay people what they're worth. We'll talk again more about that in our next installment. But then how to get started? Pretty simple. Just get out your laptop, connect it to your Twitch, start the cameras, and just go. Whatever you decided is going to be your focus, just do one. Don't think too hard about it. Just load up your favorite video game, get on Twitch, start streaming. You probably won't have any viewers at all the next time, the first time, but you're starting to get that practice, you're starting to put that presence out there, and you're getting started with just the feeling of doing it. So how to get started? Pretty much just start. You've got your base materials, you got your base equipment, just turn it on and start talking. Don't worry if you stumble over your words. You've noticed I've probably done a whole bunch here. So before I leave you guys off from this first little installment here, I do want to leave you guys with a couple of streamers to check out. You probably already have your faves, but I will share just a few here on the screen. You can read those if you'd like. I haven't watched all of these myself. I'm not really much of an esports streamer watcher, so I can't really speak for their quality, but I have seen that they are quite popular. So you might want to just check out what other streamers are doing. Again, you don't want to copy what people are doing because it's not going to be as much fun for you, but you can get some tips and tricks about maybe what you want to start doing in the future and how you want to narrow your own focus, refine your focus. And that is all I have for you guys for this first one. Thank you guys so much for watching. In our next session, which will be next month, third Wednesday, same time, same place, we will be talking about starting hardware, software, and online services you can use for pretty cheap, if not free. So we will see you guys in the next one. If you have any questions, concerns, thoughts, please let us know in the comments. My last thing I'm going to leave you guys off with is, while I will talk about this more in our final session, make sure that when you are getting started with streaming, especially if you are under 18, safety needs to be your number one concern. It's very easy for people to hurt you on the internet. So again, we'll talk about that in more detail in our third installment. But just keep that in mind when you're getting started. Keep yourself safe on the internet. Use your common sense. I hope this was interesting to you. Again, questions, comments, let me know in the comments. I will be happy to respond to everybody who has any thoughts. And thank you guys again for watching. Good luck on your streaming adventure. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.